The Charles Richardson Show is uncensored and is for adults only. Mature or immature, doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Sorry, Wendy. This is tryouts for a boy band. Oh, come on, dude. Let her try. No way. Come on, Cartman. You haven't liked anybody else. Okay, fine. Wow me.
Mrs. Landers was a help nut. She cooked food in a wok. Mr. Harris was her boyfriend, and he had a great big cock-a-doodle-doodle. The rooster just won't click, and I don't want my breakfast because it tastes like shit. Shih make good house pets. They're cuddly and sweet. Monkeys aren't good to have because they like to beat their meeting in the office, a meeting in the hall. The bossy wants to see you so you can suck his balls. That was a writer. He lived with Alan Funt. Mrs. Roberts didn't like him, but that's because she's a contaminated water. Can really make you sick. Your bladder gets infected and blood comes out your dick. Take what I'm saying, because it will bring you luck. And if you all don't like it, I don't give a flying fuck.
Thanks, Wendy. Don't call us. We won't call you either.
I'll be back, kids. Stupendous. Oh, boy, do I gotta go. Open the door here. Pull down my pants. I'm in here. Busy right now. Barney! Come out, Barney! Will you just wait a minute? Oh, that was stupendous. Oops, here comes another one. Wait, my little dinosaur butt there. Coming! Here it comes, kids!
Are you suffering from exhaustion, sleep deprivation, headaches? Is your hair thinning? Do you ever wonder to yourself, what happened? Then you might be suffering from parenting. Parenting affects 10 out of 10 mothers and fathers around the world and can lead to extreme debt and loss of self-identity. You may need a fucking break. A fucking break lets you step away from it all. Results of a fucking break may vary. Side effects include a sigh of relief, decrease in blood pressure, and hanging with the boys. Do not take a fucking break if there's no one watching your kids, and if you've taken one in the last 24 hours. Talk to your spouse before you take a fucking break. Parenting is not easy. Take a fucking break.
All right, thanks, you average white American. God bless you. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm a Republican. I'm running for president of the United States of America. You may have heard that my liberal opponent grants amnesty to illegal immigrants. Well, I personally have gone down to the Rio Grande to puncture holes in raft boats trying to get across my border. She has repeatedly voted to extend welfare benefits to single mothers and supports funding for Planned Parenthood and women's clinics. Whereas I've done everything to shut down any women's health center, regardless of what they are. Why should we give benefits to godless whores who can't keep their legs together? And speaking of God, you know there's something wrong with this country when some atheist, who's a woman, who's probably a lesbian, can openly run for president. While the evil science of evolution is burned into the minds of our children. My opponent is anti-Jesus, but this is a nation under God. I am 100% certain that life definitely begins at conception. My opponent loves abortions. She fucking loves them. She believes in nonsense like global warming and evolution, while I rely on cold, hard facts. Now, on November 6th, you make sure and vote for me, the real American. Not this imposter whose name I can't even pronounce because I speak English. I'm your Republican candidate, and I approve this message.
Funded by Texas Fags, Texas Families Against Gay Sex.
Gina likes to suck on his cock. She always does it right. She likes to fuck so rough. Ooh, so rough. Tommy likes how Gina plays. Working with her hands, she jerks him off all day. Ooh, for love. He says you gotta hold on to my cock. I don't really care if you suck it or not. Just jerk me off and swallow my wad for love. I'll give you my shot. Whoa, we're halfway there. Oh, go get it in your hair. Take my dick and stick it in there. Oh, if you dare. Tommy's got a 12-inch cock. Gina really likes it, but she also loves to cruise the block for cock and rock. Gina dreams of fucking all day. Man, woman, or slave. Tommy says it's okay. Ooh, all day. She says, hold on, are you ready or not? You know I'm really horny, can't you see my friend is hot? She's all worked up, and that's a lot for your cock. So give her a shot. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, go get it in your hair. Take my dick and stick it in there. Whoa, if you dare, just go get it in your hair. She says, hold on, are you ready or not? You know I'm really horny, can't you see my friend is hot? Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, go get it in your hair. Take my dick and stick it in there. Whoa, if you dare. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, go get it in your hair. Take my dick and stick it in there. Whoa, if you dare.
Live from the Raw Talk Studios in Southwest Florida, it's the Charles Richardson Show.
Yeah, it's Friday, everybody. What up? What up? Let's make sure I have all the mics on that I need to. Karen, I have not tested yours since like the dawn of time. Is yours still on? No,
No, it's not.
Test 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Karen is back, everybody.
I'm back.
We have Barbara like far in the corner there. We couldn't get a camera set up. This is how prepared I was. But Barbara, see if you can go ahead and go right up to that mic there that's cushioned and see if you can say anything loud.
That'd be a negative.
I bet that is a negative. That is a negative. Try it again, bud. Try it again, Barbara. No. All right. So, we're gonna have to go ahead and do some
Finagling.
Yeah, fingering. Hang on. We're gonna do some fingering. Hold on.
Oh,
You know, one would think at some point, you know, we would, I don't know, think to do this before the show, you know.
Well, I'm just saying. You hear me on the phone?
no.
No, we can't hear you, Charles. That mic isn't working either.
I can't say anything because
That's one too.
I actually slid in here a lot earlier than I normally do, and that was only 5 to 7. Normally it's like 5 after 7.
Yeah, you know, my show wraps up right before Charles goes live, so you know, my comm checks are already squared away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now I'm in, right?
No, we don't hear anything, Charles. Again,
What?
or to change this show to the crazy Charles Richardson show. I'm thinking.
It could be.
It's the level of preparedness. Negative. This is professionalism you won't find anywhere else in the Charles Richardson show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Only in this world.
Right. Oh man, this is like watching a midget track meet. The longer it goes on, the more uncomfortable I'm feeling.
This actually reminds me of I was at a dinner party last night. That's the whole time I was sitting there. I'm like, this really should be an alcohol party because I'm not sure.
I got plenty of it.
I'm not sure I can handle much more of that dinner party with.
Oh man, yeah.
It was rough.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yes, it's the inappropriate appropriateness, right? I mean,
What are you talking
Yes.
about? There's no such thing.
So, I mean, it consisted of, and nothing bad. I specialize in memory care, so this is nothing bad for anybody that's gonna take it wrong.
Oh, hang on,
But-
Barbara. Try it again. I think I figured it out.
yeah, her microphone is muted on his.
Testing.
There we go.
There she is.
I got it. I got it. I'm the
Let's-
master.
Now
I'm
let's
the
just.
man.
Well, the master would have had it done before the show started.
You know
but-
what? You know what? Here's 3 fingers. The middle one's yours. That's all I got to say right there. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right back at you. See there?
yeah. Oh, that's nothing. I got the words. You just got the dramatic music.
No. Well, I mean,
Alrighty.
I could have gave you that one. You know, I've got
No.
a few of them.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Anyway,
I've got
so
one of
what's
those
up,
too.
everybody?
See?
How was that?
That
Hey,
sounds like
I
a
told you.
That did sound like a tattoo gun. What the fuck was that?
Well,
Anyway,
because I
what's
turned the
up,
volume
everybody?
down because I don't want to hurt Charles' delicate ears.
Shut up. Happy Friday, everybody. It's the 13th of Friday, or more commonly known as Friday the 13th. Oh, come on, Philip. That was there. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. Let's try it again.
I wasn't going to
Let's
give it
try it
to
again.
you.
Let's try it
I wasn't going to give it to you, dude. I was
No, you need
not
to
going
give
to
it
give
to
it to you.
You
I
need
have
to
to
give it
give it to you.
You got to let him have something.
You got to let me
Okay.
get it.
Okay, do it again. All right.
Okay. So today is the 13th of Friday, or better known as Friday the 13th.
You
know,
feeling evil
like-
yet?
It's like we need multiple takes to go ahead and make this work. I don't understand how
Take
it is.
500.
Take
No.
500, take 10,000, whatever.
Well, I'm just glad that I come back after all this time and nothing's changed.
Oh
Yeah,
man, it's
That's kind
well.
of sad, isn't it?
No.
So anyway, let me reintroduce the cast. Long time on the show, long time away from the show. She is back. It's Karen. So hello, Karen.
Hello.
She is waving. First time on the show. She's over there kind of bored. I mean, she's got her Smirnoff though. So everything should be okay though. But that's Barbara, one of my friends. She's actually coming down for the weekend on a very different assignment, and one I'm hoping to go ahead and help her with a little bit later. And of course, Alyssa will be in a little bit, probably on the second hour, if all things are well. So, well, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and I'm Philip, ladies and gentlemen. Dick.
It's nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I should have gave that to you, huh? I guess I should have gave it to
My name is Philip, and I'm here on the Charles Richardson show.
Anyway.
And to the right is the chopped liver.
Yeah, right.
You know, I still gotta realize if I grow my beard out as much as yours, will we match? Because I see the white on my beard and the white in the middle of your beard. I'm wondering if the same.
Well, actually, I'm fixing to shave my beard off at the end of the year or at the end of this month. I'm the keynote speaker for Memorial Day coming up, and they want me in uniform. Now the military reg says I can go, I can have a beard, but I don't know, man. I'm probably you're probably gonna see me come back with just a little bitty mustache, military stash.
So honestly, talk to me more about this Memorial Day you said.
Yeah, in Houston, the Memorial Day is coming up at the end of the month, and it's just the day that we honor all the fallen who've given their lives in the great pursuit of freedom. Ronald Reagan once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away." So we take Memorial Day every year, and we just take a day to remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice.
And you're actually doing some speaking on that day.
I am.
By the way, Memorial Day is on the same Monday all over the country. Just letting you know.
Yes, that is correct.
But
not just in Texas.
But the celebrations are on different days.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, Memorial Day, federal holiday falls Monday, or the last Monday of the year. Now, I don't know if you knew this or not, Charles, but the first Saturday of the year was National Explosive Ordnance Disposal Awareness Day. So us EOD guys, us bomb guys, got our own National Day of Recognition. But Memorial Day, I'm the keynote speaker, just there to try to memorialize and eulogize the best I possibly can.
Well, dude, man, that's good. That's awesome. I'm actually very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. That's what that's what I do on my side job when I'm not doing these radio shows. I'm going around and I'm talking to different groups, kids, churches, chambers of commerce, motivation leadership.
Well, and that kind of parlays into our guest, because when he's not out having fun, he's writing and doing some screenplays, and you probably have heard him on one of actually his one and only major casting role, which he was on. This is Wes Craven's first directorial debut that he was on, playing the role of Junior on The Last House on the Left. Let's welcome in our guest today, Marc Sheffler.
Sheffler,
how you doing?
There he is.
Marc Sheffler. Get it right, please.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay, how are you guys?
I'm good, man. How you doing today?
Today I'm a little tired, not having anything to do with the fact that I started my day in early in the morning in Los Angeles at our place in Los Angeles, and then had a bunch of stuff with my wife to do there in the morning, and then got in the car and drove to our house in Indio, where we are now. So it's
it's been kind of chaotic now. All of a sudden, now you got that downtime. You hit that wall, and everything's just.
No, I have to work tonight. I write at night. I write all night long. And I'm writing a book right now, so I'm about 100 pages in, and I go to sleep early, like 7:30, 8 o'clock LA time. I wake up about 12:31, and then I write till daylight.
Wow, I mean, that's the sleep schedule right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Welcome to the program. We're
so much.
looking forward to having. So listen, I got to ask you, because I mean, the movie that was written by Wes Craven and played on, obviously you can watch it if you got Tubi. Everybody has Tubi. Take a look at it. The movie was obviously a low budget movie, but it was Wes Craven's first feature film. When you took that role, and we're going back 40 some odd years ago.
Okay.
Tell me what was going through your mind when you were going ahead and on that scene or on that set when you were playing Junior. What was going through your mind at that time?
Well, let's see. I was shocked. I mean, I was like, I couldn't fucking believe it. I said, I got a movie. There's a zillion out of work actors in New York, and I was in the right place at the right time, looked the right way. Had a luck because they had cast somebody else in the part, and that person withdrew to take another picture, and the part became open. I walked into my manager's office in New York, in Manhattan. He said, "I have a movie audition for you." I said, "Okay." He said, "Go to this address, and you'll see two guys. One is Wes, and the other is Sean. And tell him I sent you, and you're supposed to read for the part." So I went. I met Wes, a guy named Wes, tall guy with blonde hair, long down to his shoulders, and then a shorter guy with a mustache and the seedling of a stomach. I read. If you saw the movie, I read the dream sequence scene,
Yep.
and where I was, dreaming, and they said thank you. I said thank you. We shook hands, and I went back to my manager's office. And by the time I had gotten there, they'd called up and said, "That's our junior."
Nice.
Wow.
So right there, it's like, and you know what? And it's funny that you mentioned it, the right place, the right time, because Mark, honestly, and this is no joke, that's pretty much been your life. You went ahead, you sold your first script, and you know, a lot of people say, listen, I went ahead and I had to eke out, live in my car. I've had to do this and do that to get by, to make my break. Mark, your break was there right off the bat. I mean, you were batting 1,000 when you first stepped into the play. How did that happen?
Okay, I'm a big believer in, if and my youngest son, who I'll talk about in a second to kind of validate what I'm saying. I think if you're lucky enough to either self-discover or have that discovery thrown in front of you of who you really are at a young age and what you might, where you might go or what makes you tick. If you're lucky enough to figure that out at an early age, it allows you the luxury of pointing yourself in the direction of where you'd like to be. So by example, for me, you see that picture right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's me at my 10th birthday party with my sister, who's 3 years younger than I am, and the talent that my father hired for the show at my birthday party, the Three Stooges.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I had a father who was this kind of silk mohair suit wearing, alligator loafer, Cadillac driving, aluminum siding salesman, who was also out of the Army. He was a hand-to-hand combat instructor as a ranger at Fort Benning, Georgia. So that's who my dad was. So he was like the unique portions of two worlds. He was a man who was greatly gifted with words, but if that didn't work, he had other assets. But I was going to be 10, and he said to me, well, 10, double digits, new decade, special, let's kick it off right. What do you want for your birthday? And I said the Three Stooges, and he got them for me. So
sweet.
I know, right? It's like
it's kind of like, yeah, Dad, I want a pony. Sure, there you go.
I guess that would be like a Jewish pony to get me comedian.
Philip, go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
No, so what happened was I'm at the party and I got about 60 friends and family because parents didn't drop their kids off for this one. They stuck around, and we're at a nightclub in Pittsburgh called the Holiday House. No longer there, but it was a big, like a first-rate talent.
Right.
So we're there and we're having the party, and halfway through the Stooges show, Mo stops the show and looks out in the audience and says, well, we're here to celebrate Mark's birthday. Where is Mark? And I raised my hand, and Mo says, come on up here. Come on up, Mo. So I looked at my father and I said, what should I do? My father said, get your ass up on that stage, man. Get up there. Why are you asking me? Get going.
When they tell you to get on stage, you get your fucking ass on stage. What the hell?
Yeah, right. So, I was 10. So I go up on stage, and since I was a Stoogeophile, I knew all their material, and I started interacting with them for like 5 minutes, right? And then Mo stops it again and puts his hand on my head and says, I dub you the fourth Stooge. And when he said that, the audience exploded. The audience, my friends and their families, they exploded. And I couldn't see shit because there was lights in my eyes, and I had a microphone in my hand, and I was talking. And when they started applauding and laughing, I got this warm glow, there's people in Chinese opium dens who are so comfortable they don't fucking move, right? That's how I felt. And I said, ooh, I want more of this. This feels really good. I like this. I wasn't intimidated.
You like that film to have all the attention on you, that spotlight on you.
Fucking right.
Feels
Yeah.
good, doesn't
You
it?
know, I freely admit that I thrive on being the center of attention. I just do. It just
Nice.
makes, you know, I try to not be obnoxious about it, but you know, I am my own favorite subject. So,
But yeah, when I was talking to you, your wife in the background, you said was rolling your eyes and everything.
listen, my wife, I'm 72 years old, right? My wife is a Colombian woman who is 17 years younger than me, and she's the fucking boss here. I'm like
well trained.
I am. Listen, I do what she says because I'm afraid of her. You know, it's like
I agree. You gotta be afraid of those Colombian women. You have no
oh,
idea.
she scares me sometimes. You just look in her face, and you know, it's like I remember like that woman Lorena Bobbitt. I mean, my wife is not like that. But,
yeah, please.
you know, it did happen. So
I'll tell you who that one Lorena Bobbitt was the wife on that movie. How in the hell do you go ahead and bite off a guy's dick to make him bleed to death? That is something that's missing in horror films. You know, just that simple fact right there.
I've left that behind.
Philip, you had a question. Go ahead, man.
Please.
Yeah. So, Mark, first off, thanks, man, for coming on for Feature Friday with us. So, you know, you talk about getting the bug, right? And so, you know, my huge focus for this month on my show is mental health awareness, and I talk. Today's show actually talked about that internal dialogue, right? Visualizing that success and then making intentional decisions to get to that success, and then once you get there, duplicate it over and over. It almost kind of sounds like you kind of had that same thing going for you.
Again, I point to my dad. I'll give you a couple of examples. When I dropped out of college in 1969. I was in school at LSU. In fact, I went to school with one of America's now foremost civil rights advocates, David Duke. I wanted to go to California. And my father said, nah, go to New York first. And I said, why? He said, because you need to learn things in New York that will make you better in California. And he said, and by the way, if you're supposed to be in California, one of these days it'll reach out and pull you to it. I said, what are you talking about? The kid. I said, what are you talking about? He said, you'll just know it when it happens. So I went to New York. I got a job as the stage manager of the nightclub at the Raleigh Hotel, one of those big Catskill Mountain resorts. And this nightclub itself was like a 1,500 seat nightclub. And how I even conned my way into that job that's a whole other story. But needless to say, I was completely unqualified, but made it sound like I was overly qualified. So I worked there for about a year, and then I met along the way during the course, I got a chance to see every comedian who worked the Catskill Mountain circuit multiple times, worked with them, got to know them, watched new material being broken in. I mean, I learned in that year, I got like a master's degree worth of education in how that all works. And one of the comedians I met was a guy named London Lee, who was a New Yorker, and a guy whose main thrust of his act was that he was the son of a rich family, like a very wealthy family, which he was in real life. His father owned a gigantic dress business in the city. Right. And his act was basically poor little rich kid, right? So, you know, he had jokes like in his act, when I was a kid, my father got me a German Shepherd, not a dog, a real German Shepherd. So, you know, so that's kind of like an exemplar of his humor. So he, at the end of my year at the Raleigh, he told me that his road manager was leaving. Would I be interested in the job? And I was 19 and almost 20. I said, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So he got me to New York and got me a place. And, you know, I started working, driving his car and driving him to shows and, you know, basically being an all-around schlepper. And I started working on some jokes for him that really worked. He did like one night and got applause. And then he did a few more and they were really good jokes and he loved them. So then I became part of his act. I would do a little bit with him on stage. And then one night at a place, I think it was the Nevele, like a 1,200 seat nightclub on a Saturday night, where in the middle of the bit that we would do, which would be, in the middle of the act, he would stop and say, I'm very thirsty. I need some water. and he'd look to the wings and he would say, Mark, can you bring me some water? And I'd cross out onto the stage. And while I'm on my cross, he turns to the audience and says, that's Mark. My father got him for me. They'd laugh. And I'd get to him and I'd hand him the water. He'd take a sip and he'd say, who am I? And I'd say, you're the boss. I said, well, who are you? He said, me? I'm nothing. He said, well, what does that make me? He said, it makes you the boss over nothing. And that would get a laugh. The audience would laugh at that. And then I would leave. So at this particular night, I start to leave and I hear from behind, hey, come here. I need you for a second. So I turned. I said, what? He said, I'm coming down with something. I don't feel well. I need a rest. Can you do 5 minutes? And I said, yeah. So he said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark. You met him just now. He works for me. He's an up-and-coming young comedian. Please give him a warm welcome. So they applauded. I went down and did 5 minutes, and it was going well enough that from behind me, I hear, all right, get the fuck off the stage.
Ain't follow daddy, right?
Yeah, I didn't like take any, I didn't get mad or nothing. So we get in the car, we're heading back to New York, and he looked at me and he said, I'm not going to do that every night. And I had much the same feeling response to him that I did when I lost my virginity. And a girl said to me, I'm not going to do this every night. And I said, I just want to get it done once. That's it. That's it. I've done it. I'm happy. Then of course that night, that's all I could think about. So then, I moved to New York. I left London after we did the Copacabana. I did 2 weeks at the Copa with him. I went out on my own, and shortly thereafter, got Last House on the Left. Just, again, right place, right time.
It just seems like no matter what you did, whether it be on stage, whether it be writing, whether it be acting, it just seems like you had the niche and the knack for everything.
Well,
was it a personal choice to just do that one movie, or did you have other offers that are out there?
I had some other things, but nothing that really appealed to me. And to be perfectly honest, when I look at myself and I know who I am, a person with my particular skill set in any other country would be fucking homeless. Okay. It's just so happens we live in a country where, like sports people and whatever, that entertainment and the thing that the light that's inside of me is able to reach a lot of people. And as far as the second part of your question, I realized when I was making Last House, one of the like adult things that I was thinking about, because there weren't many, but one of them like adult things that I did realize was that I was watching Wes and watching Sean and like sucking the whole thing in, because this is my first movie, so I was sponging it up like crazy. I said, I think I'd rather be involved in the telling of the story than just being a part of the story. I said, it's nice, and I don't mind doing it, and I'd love to keep doing it, but I think ultimately that's what I want to do. I kind of realized it there.
You wanted to be the brains behind the story.
You're the one. I wanted to have stories and tell them. That's the I don't. Brains is a whole other issue, but I think let's just say I wanted to tell my own stories. I wanted to tell stories.
Well, you're looking at actually doing that. So you're writing a book here, and you said the book is going to be those 7 years, and
that's
it's actually that's going to be the title of the book. It basically revolved around you and your dad when you were 14 years old. Give us a little bit of a perspective on that.
Well, if you accept the premise that we land as adults because of things that happened to us as kids and people we knew, and journey, and journeys along the way. When I was 14, my father and I were watching Jerry Lewis in The Nutty Professor. And we were in downtown Pittsburgh, where we lived, in a theater that was one of these grand, ornate, old gold, trim gargoyles, balconies, very, very old live action theater that was converted for movies when the medium changed. And it was part of the Stanley Warner theater chain. It was called the Stanley. And my father's cousin, Larry, was the general manager for the entire Stanley Warner theater chain in the Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
So movie's over, audiences applaud, and the credits are rolling. I get up, my dad gets up, and I said something to him like, Dad, Jerry Lewis is the funniest guy in the world. And wow, what must that be like to have that kind of a job where where you're in the movies? And my father looked at me and gave me like a look I'd never seen. He was dead serious. And he said, well, maybe you'll find out one day. And I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And he looked at me again, dead serious, and said, hey, man, somebody does that every day of the week. Why not you?
Right.
And I said, yeah, why not me? So we made this kind of father and son fantasy arrangement that one day I would star in a movie that would be up on that screen. And when I did, my father would hire the limo that would take us to the premiere, and we'd go together. Well, as ridiculous as that sounds, at my age of 14 in 1963 in a theater in Pittsburgh, 7 years later, Last House on the Left happens. And right after the Roger Ebert review happened, and it went from like 20 screens in drive-ins in New England to 1,200 screens across the country. The publicity people who were working for Sean sent me to Pittsburgh to open the film, where ironically it opened at the Stanley, and my dad and I did attend in a limo together that he got for us. So
awesome.
The book is the journey between those 2 points. That's
awesome. And you said you're about 100 pages in.
I'm 100 pages in. I'm going year by year. So they're not years in sequence. The first year is 1957. That's the year my parents were divorced. That's the year I went to live with my father. That's the year my life changed.
What's your goal to release this book? Do we have a date in mind?
Well, my wife and I are going to see her family in Colombia on June 20th, and we're coming back on September 4th. My goal is to have a first draft of it when I come back.
Okay.
A draft that I can then start to craft work out.
All right, so this book, because I'm trying to write my first autobiography as well, and one of the, you said earlier, you are your favorite subject, which I think is hysterical because
I said I'm my own favorite subject.
Right, you're your own favorite subject, So, but when for writing an autobiography, man, that is, I know for me, I don't have the experience obviously that you do, but man, it's just so hard, right? Because.
I mitigated that fear. I had that very same fear, and I mitigated by fictionalizing it. What I'm doing is I've created an alter ego.
No shit.
And I'm mixing real life things that happen. Like I'm mixing my life and all of my celebrity interactions and friends and everything with this character that I've created, who is a fictionalized version of me. And I'm doing that because it gives me a bit of distance and some objectivity.
There you go, Phil. Now you got some ideas on how to. You just got to go ahead and go from Philip to Phil.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck if the character I'm writing about has my name. I could give a shit. I don't care. I want people
what it's
to
about,
enjoy what they're reading, and for me to make it better, I think it's better that I have some narrative objectivity, and so that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Awesome. This is Marc Sheffler, ladies and gentlemen. Here, definitely a very good writer, very good storyteller. You've written on Who's the Boss, Charles in Charge, a couple of other ones as well. Is there ever a favorite that you wrote for, or something that you really said, you know what, this is going to take everything I have to make it good or make it better? What would that be? What would that one series be?
Ooh, are you talking about in my entire career?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Huh.
I mean, I know we're talking 50 years and everything, but still.
Okay, so in 2010, I spent some time in Cuba. And the reason I was there was I was at a place that was an internationally known film and television school, university, about 40 kilometers outside of Havana. And they invited me to come and run a sitcom seminar, to create a sitcom pilot. And the reason they asked me to do that was another writing teacher who I worked with, who I knew, who was a sometimes writing partner of mine, had been there and doing screenwriting. And my friend is like an internationally known screenwriting teacher. And they asked him to do the sitcom thing. And he said, I could do it, but I know someone a whole lot better. So he recommended me, and my wife and I went there. And the reason they decided to do it was, I don't know if you guys know this, but situation comedy, multi-camera situation comedy, the way we know it in the United States, was invented by a Cuban. It was invented by Desi Arnaz. He's the one who created multi-camera sitcom television. When he took I Love Lucy from the radio and transposed it onto the stages at what was then Desi Lu Kawanga, and he knew that he had to shoot it all in one. He had a vision for it, and it was Desi who created it. And these guys in Cuba at this school, which was a very famous school, by the way, they decided that there had never been a sitcom in Cuba, and yet Cubans invented this. Let's have at least, a script. Let's have something. So they got me to. So I worked with 5 students, from all over Latin America, and my wife was there, and she was helping me with it. And in less than 2 weeks, I had them writing a pilot, a first episode, and then a second episode. So on my last day there, my next to last day, I was in the cantina on campus, and the guy who hired me came and sat down and thanked me for everything and said that everybody loves what these kids wrote and yada yada yada, and they want to produce them.
Wow.
And I said what? And they said, yeah, we want to produce them, and we want you to run it.
It honestly just sounds like nothing you could have done failed. Did you write anything that actually said, "The hell is this, Mark? Good, get out of here"?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh yeah. All right. There you go.
I'm over here like you had the perfect life.
Wait. First sitcom I ever worked on, Co-Ed Fever, 1979, CBS. Right after Animal House, all the networks had their version of college fraternity sorority sitcoms, right? I worked on the shittiest one of all. But it was created by a friend of mine and his writing partner, who I knew casually from some drugged out parties in the 70s. And so I get a job on this show, and it's my first. I'm 28. Yeah, 28 years old. And I get 29, sorry. Get a job on the show. And I get my first episode, my first real episode. And I break the story, and I write it, and I write it again, and I write it, and I get it to where I say, hey, I really like this. This is good work. I turn it in to this guy, to the producer, whose name was Frank Shaw, executive producer. And he was, to describe him, he was a guy about 5'6", both ways. Long, stringy, shoulder length, gray, disappearing hair, more prominent head than hair. He looked like a fucking Klingon, a short Jewish Klingon. And
I'm thinking like a new Palumpa or something.
He would wear these canvas pants, that drawstring pants, and he always had little bits of sushi stuck in his beard.
Oh,
so,
Jesus Christ!
Gross.
It was, yeah, but he was a lot of fun at times to hang out with. I mean, I went to great parties with him. So he walks into my office. He knocks on my door. Hey, Mark, can I have a word with you? I said, yeah, Frank, what do you want? He said, I read your script. I said, really? What'd you think? And he took it and he started ripping it up.
Oh no.
Shit. It's shit. It's nothing but shit. And I said, so you liked it? You didn't like it? And we were friends. I wasn't worried about getting fired, right? It was just, it's like, you have contracts. So what? They hire you as a writer. There's nowhere in the contract that said they have to like what you write. Yeah, I've had that experience where somebody has just, cut me a new one, and you just go through it. It's a rite of passage.
Compared to the amount of failure and the amount of success.
I think much more success than failure. I think.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured. I mean, a lot of people is like, yeah, I failed a lot more than I succeeded, but the success far outweighs the failure. So
here's the bottom line. I told you guys I left college when I was 19. It was 1969, right? And I had 3 life goals, only 3. I had them all, like in stone, what I wanted to do. I wanted to smoke as much weed as possible. I wanted to sleep with as many different women as possible. And I wanted to make just enough money to afford the weed and the women. I look back on my life and I realized that I have greatly exceeded my own expectations.
I was about ready to ask, are you sure the number of women is to your satisfaction and the
100%.
number of weed?
Let me tell you something. It was 100% to my satisfaction 17 years ago when I married my wife.
Okay.
So,
all right. I listen. I know. Listen. Blink twice if she's there. I mean, if
no. I have no adolescent sexual fantasy that's unrealized.
Good for you.
And that was the thing. So you've
He
fulfilled
deserves an
any type.
applause.
Well, yeah, I think you're right.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, I have none, 0. Everything I ever came up with from Playboy magazines, done it, been there, done that. Okay, move on.
And let's put it this way. So even if you had, and again, maybe we're diving in something more personal, but so say, for instance, just one night you see, you envision something that's like you want to do with your hot Colombian wife, go ahead and fulfill it for you.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, I said it might be a little personal. I mean, I'm taking a chance here.
Depending on what it is. I mean, it ain't for free.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But listen, the amount of the last goal was make sure you had the amount of money to pay for everything. You just have to make sure you have enough money to pay for that act that you're thinking of.
Yeah, I do.
You have to factor that.
I'm 72, so I got enough money for a handshake.
There you go, right.
At 72, are you still active?
Yes.
All right.
That's the thing that drives me. I'm serious. That's the thing that drives my wife crazy, is the fact that she thinks I'm going through a second puberty. That's what she calls it. She says, she 100% believes she can't, like that. She knows how old I am, and yet she knows, how nutty I am in certain ways. And she said, you're going through puberty again. I was at the Comedy Store, 50th. I'm an original paid regular at the Comedy Store, and name on the wall for 40 some years. Yeah. I was at the 50th reunion on April 7th, and we're outside in the parking lot. And there's a few hundred people, and this very attractive African American woman in her mid-20s starts looking at me, and I was dressed. I had a suit, like a really cool looking suit on, and I had some style going, and she keeps looking at me, and eventually, and I'm standing with some friends, some comedian friends. Eventually, she kind of takes a step my way, and she says, "I've been looking at you." And I said, "Yeah, I know. I've been looking at you, looking at me." She said, "You're pretty styling." And I said, "Yeah, I know that too."
Damn.
And she said,
"No, you're not cocky at all, Mark. Not at all.
Not one bit, right?" and she said, "You a comedian?" And I said, "Well, not anymore, but I was." And I pointed to my name on the wall. And she said, "I'd like to get to know you." And I, held my hand up with my wedding ring. And I said, I think that'd be really nice, but I don't know if my wife would quite approve. And she put her hands on her hips, and she said, "Shit, you got a wife." And I got a wife I love, actually. And she said, "Well, that's a good thing." And she said, "But I'll tell you what, you didn't have that ring on your finger, we would have had a connection tonight." I said, "Okay."
Well, let me ask you that. If you didn't have your wife, you didn't have that ring.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you kidding? if I wasn't like in a with my wife, are you kidding? Of course.
Any talk about bringing a third person in, or is she just like gonna drop that, or you guys both would drop that?
I don't know if either one of us have the energy for that, to tell you the truth. I have a limited amount of energy these days, and I prefer to put it into my book and nothing else.
I get you.
I've done that previously a few times, and it's a lot of work.
Well,
it's a lot of
go ahead. I think you know a little bit about that.
This all sounds like a commercial, right?
Viagra.
Do y'all remember these commercials?
Well,
go ahead, keep telling your story. This is great background music for you.
Stop it. No, I'm done. Now let's move on to another subject.
So I got one for you. I want to change it up a little bit because I read in your bio about you did some work with probably the man of 1,000 voices himself.
Mel Blanc.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Man, growing up, I've loved cartoons. I'm 43 years old. I still love cartoons. I still watch Looney Tunes. I'm a fan, right? I learned how to do, when I was a kid, I learned how to do Roger Rabbit's voice and then Hank Hill, trying to evolve. And
Roger Rabbit was my friend Charlie Fleischer.
Man, how cool was that guy? And
I just saw Charlie. I just saw him in April. We just we didn't hug because of COVID, but we touched hands, and I just saw Charlie in April. I hadn't seen him for years.
What is that like? I mean, Jesus, you are part of. I mean, like a no shit. I mean, your music, your Last House on the Left, right on. But
right,
this is fucking cartoons, bro. I mean, this is huge.
Okay. Here's the thing. And again, I go back to my dad. One of the things my dad did when I was a kid was he was very close friends with a bunch of the Pittsburgh Pirate baseball players back in those days. And if you know anything about baseball and can imagine the 1960s Pirates team, my dad was like good friends with most of them, to so much so that Roy Face, a relief pitcher, very famous relief pitcher, was the carpenter who built my father's house. Was the rough carpenter on my father's house. They were good friends. So I hung out as a kid with famous people, and that just kind of broke it for me. I didn't really, I kind of grew up just realizing that people were people, because as a kid, I said I hung out with famous people, famous sports people anyway. So when I got into show business and I got into around, I started as a stage manager, and there were some famous comedians and singers that I worked with. It kind of, it's like if you go into like hot water or ice cold water and you just jump in, you feel the surge of it. But if you're go in with your toes and you kind of gradually go in and you get used to it, and then you move in a little more and you get used to it, and you get.
I don't know. I never get used to my luggage being in cold water. That's just me.
Yeah, but
good one.
But it's a familiar territory for you.
Thank you. It becomes very familiar territory, and like I've worked with Jack Nicholson. I've worked with on award shows. I've worked with Anthony Hopkins, Spielberg. You just do your job, man. You just kind of
try not to get too starstruck.
Getting back to Mel Blanc, the reason I didn't talk, I never really met him. I just wrote the lines, and the stuff that I wrote was interstitial. His voices were already in cartoons that were locked, that I would then say, we want frame this to frame that, number this to that to put here. And I wrote the lines for an old cowboy character actor by the name of Denver Pyle, who was the host of the show. So that's I never got a chance to meet Mel Blanc.
Well, man, but still, though, writing those lines for him, that probably had to feel something special.
That's a feather in the hat, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I don't mean to be callous or sound like it's no big deal. It's just you're so wrapped up in trying to do your job and to do the work that all that other stuff, just kind of goes away. It just
you kind of have that thought process, like, hey, listen, these are just human beings, just like me. They got feelings, they have bills, they have issues, just like I do. And it's like, yes, they may have their name plastered on all these movie titles and this and that, but
Yeah.
in the end, they're still human.
Yeah, I mean,
Mark,
you know,
let me ask you something here because we're coming towards the end.
all right.
Hollywood now.
Yes.
The way I mean, when you first started with that first movie role that you had, going into writing, and now you're writing a book, taking a look at Hollywood, how it's developed or evolved or devolved in some places, what do you see that has changed that either really disappoints you or makes you proud to be part of the industry?
Well, I'm proud to be part of an industry that brings pleasure and joy to people. You know, I mean, I still do stand up occasionally, and I get up on stage, and I really do it for the laughs. I do it to hear people laugh. I just love making people laugh. And as far as how the business has changed, well, you know, everything grows, everything evolves kind of like in parallel steps for the most part along those lines. You know, social media changed things. Television is not the same. You know, we didn't have streaming services. There are many, many more places, and artists now I think are getting a chance to see their visions more clearly. You know, you don't have like networks have their set of rules and regulations, and then streaming services are different. So, you know, starting like when HBO and Showtime came on the scene, and they gave creative people an alternative, a platform to get their material on, and then everything that we have now grew from HBO and Showtime, and so I have no complaints. I don't trash the present. I don't trash the future, and I'm grateful for the past. You know, so.
Like nowadays, it's like you got people on YouTube creating content, becoming just as famous as you would be, in regards to just doing that. So,
well, they're reaching more people.
Yeah,
you know, with the press of a button, they're reaching 100 times more people than we could releasing a film in 1,200 screens for 2 weeks.
If you were to take the 21-year-old version of yourself and plaster it here, do you think, and again, you've had it already easy, pretty good. I mean, again, you sold your first script, went to Hollywood, already had an office, a job, a house, everything,
right.
Money. But 21, at 21 years old now, do you think it's tougher, more competitive, or do you think you would just have an easier time?
I believe that the single best way to succeed in the entertainment business is possibly to recognize who you are and walk your own path. You know, a lot of people say to me, I was friends with Robin Williams, and a lot of people say, well, you think Robin would have been just as big today as, because it's a different world. I said, trust me, Robin would have, he would have been of the day like he was of the day back then. And that guy was the most talented comedian, the most talented person, the purest performer I have ever seen. So yeah, the answer to the question is, of course, it's just, if I was 21 years old right now, living in the world that we live in, I'd be fine. I would just, I'd be doing the same shit I was doing then, only I'd be doing it now.
Yep.
And probably making a lot more money doing it.
Yeah, well, probably.
As long as I was me, right? Because I'm the sum total. At 21, I was still the sum total of a shitload of experience, right? So, and interesting stories and things happen to me. So if I was that same person, then, it's like my father told me. I mentioned it earlier. He said, if you're supposed to go to LA, it's going to reach out and grab you. It's going to embrace you. And when I wrote that script and gave it to the director in New York, who sent it to his agent in Los Angeles at William Morris, who sold it to NBC, and I got a call back from him 3 days later saying, hey, guess what? I think you're moving to California. And then he told me why. I hung up the phone with tears in my eyes, and I said to my dad, man, you were fucking right. I'm moving to LA, and it's pulling me there. I'm not pulling me there. They're giving me X, Y, and Z, and I'm going. And my father said, all right, now you're on the way.
Yep.
And this was after Last House. This was in the lull between, when reality bit me in the ass after the high of Last House.
Marc Sheffler, known as The Myth.
Yes.
He's writing a book. The title would be Those 7 Years. Looking to have something come out. You said September?
No. Looking to have a draft of it.
Draft.
We call it a puke draft because it's basically just vomit the story out, and then you go to work on it.
Then tweak it out. Gotcha. But writing a book, be on the lookout for it. And one last thing.
Yes, sir.
Not many people know this. And when I was watching the movie, I'm like, really? That's him? You actually went ahead and did a movie with Martin Kove, Sensei Kreese on Cobra Kai.
One of the sweetest guys. If you want to know what a good actor Marty is, look at what an asshole Kreese is. Marty in real life is 180 degrees from that guy.
I can imagine. He's that good. He really is. He really is that good. I'm taking a look at him. I'm thinking, holy shit, how young he was.
Marty is. I wish I had the picture. We moved into the house last year, and stuff is still in boxes. I have a picture of Marty in the Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid, and he signed it to me. We're doing a convention together, and I don't want to say what he said because he said some really, really sweet things. I'd rather at some point show it.
That's fine.
Because it makes me sound weird to even say it. But anyway, he's just a terrific guy. I love Marty and thrilled for his success.
Yeah.
He actually is. When I moved to LA, he's the guy that my first day in the office, he picked me up and drove me around to every studio and network and showed me places where I was going to need to know where they are.
Yep. Awesome. Did you do any writing for Cobra Kai at all? Like, did he?
No.
Okay.
No, that's the kind of thing I'd rather watch.
I hear you. Do you got anything in the works in regards to writings? Anything going on, or just your book?
Yeah, just working on my book.
All right. Hey, listen. Have a safe trip down there later this year.
Thank you.
Marc,
congratulations to all your success, man.
Oh no, man! It's
absolutely
right place, right time.
You know what? That should be the next book. Right place, right time. That should be. There's your second book right there. Making a trilogy.
All right.
Marc Sheffler, thanks again, man. Have a great night.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Take care.
Take care.
All right. There you go. Marc Sheffler, great guy. Just amazing life that he had is just, it's just amazing. You know, how you go from instant success in the world of Hollywood. Just amazing. All right.
You could show that interview to your kitten, and by the end of it, he'd be a fucking lion. Like right now, I'm ready to go right. You hear me? That dude is.
Oh, you know what? Go right. We're going to take a break. We're going to get out of here for a couple of songs. We're taking a break. Coming on back, we're going to go ahead and get into the rest of the show. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Off to grab a beer. We'll be right back after this.
Now all grown up, I realize it's much harder. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes it's just life. How much more can I take? How much more can I fight? But don't let the dark come through your
little darling. Wanna take you all the places gold can't buy. Different games and different stations, changing trends and expectations, honey lies. You're my whore, oh Babylon. Read the beast and build the bomb, and I know why. Well, right from the start, I take the blame, 'cause I saw the art, and I fed the yes, right from the start, I take the blame, 'cause I saw the art, and I fed the flame. Little darling, I wanna take you all the places gold can't buy. Different games, different stations, changing trends and expectations, honey lies. Oh, you're my one, oh, you Babylon. Read the beast and built the bomb, and I know why. Well, right from the start, I take the blame, 'cause I saw the art, and I fed the flame.
You guys should come with me sometime. Montreal has the best strip clubs in the world.
They do?
Yeah, they're unbelievable. The girls up in Canada are gorgeous, and they all play ice hockey, so they lose their teeth by age 10.
Wow.
In fact, I'd even go so far as to say that a Canadian strip club is the most magical place in the world. Nip, nip here, nip, nip there, and a bevy of porno stars. There's jugs and mugs of Molson beer in Canadian nudie bars. Dirty hoes put on shows, and a lot of them don't have scars. They'll even take it up the nose in Canadian nudie bars. You can touch and squeeze them, they don't even care.
Would they even dye their pubes to match my hair?
Uh-huh.
Color me there.
Do like me, say wee wee, and tell them you're a friend of Bill Maher's.
That's how you'll get to watch them pee in Canadian nudie bars.
Ha ha ha!
Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha!
A guy can get his hockey pucked in Canadian nudie bars.
Call Charles now, 813-699-5353.
Woo! Welcome back to the show, everybody. 813-699-5353. You just, well, you already heard the fucking bit. You don't need it. The hell was that?
I'm throwing batteries.
Oh, stop throwing my batteries. My God.
I was playing with it. It was like a little fidget. But...
Welcome back, Karen. Destroy my studio.
Hey, I have never. Well, that's not true. I ripped the headphones up that time.
Well, you actually went ahead and ruined the chair, too. We had to get you another chair. Remember that? Let me go ahead and put the camera down there so we can see cleavage. No, you're wearing a shirt that's covering.
I actually,
What the
I
hell?
did. I know it, but I did have a shirt on. And I'm like, it's my first day back. Maybe I should work my way into it. They haven't seen it in a while.
You know we had Mark on, and you had a Colombian wife. You didn't want to seduce him too much, did you? I get it.
I'm trying to ease my way back in. It'll be back.
Yeah. Want to thank Marc Sheffler for coming on. Awesome guy. Hey, listen. Number one, just to go ahead and talk to somebody that has that type of Hollywood prestige, that's just awesome. Number one. And number two, just see how he did it. It actually brings me joy to think, hey, it may not be too late for me.
It's not. You just need a little more confidence.
I need more confidence. Yeah.
You second guess yourself, and
I don't know.
I'll tell you that. You do. Yes, you do.
I do not.
Okay, you're doing it right now.
Damn it, she's right. What the hell's wrong with me?
I know I'm always right.
Welcome back, 813-6. Yeah,
the allergies are bad in South Texas, guys. I'm just sorry.
Please, you think it's not that bad down here? Hello.
Just ask David, who's always right.
I'm allergic to bullshit. Sorry.
David's allergic to air.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
You know what? Speaking of that, I finally got him into the doctor, and I kind of felt bad because, all right, you know how we make fun of him falling asleep, and I always say, he can't stay awake for me and this and that.
Right.
Well, there's a reason.
Narcoleptic.
You what?
Narcolepsy.
Oh, no, but it is a disorder. He has a blood disorder that's called Epstein-Barr virus. And so it falls in line with like chronic fatigue syndrome. So it constantly is wiping you out of energy and so on. So that combined with sleep apnea and then allergies. And when I say allergies, he's getting tested now, but they did an x-ray of his nasal cavity. The man has no passage for air at all.
Yeah, he would suffocate if his mouth was closed.
Yes, he would.
That was just
well, there's a surgery they can actually do because I had the same issue, and they can go in there and open all that up.
Yeah, well, they're hoping that if they can just get his allergies treated, then it'll they can get the inflammation. He's on stuff to help with the inflammation and stuff now, but she told him she says I'm looking at this and she goes, you have no way of getting air through your nasal passage, and he goes, huh. And I feel good today. And I said, because this is your normal life. You are like this every day. It's either this or worse. So I did feel a little bit bad for being like, you're always falling asleep on me. And halfway through my halfway through my sentence, he's over there snoring.
Don't feel bad.
Oh, I got over it pretty quick.
Yeah, I was like saying, you go ahead and feel bad. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, by the time we got home, I was putting him to work. Mowing the lawn, those things that he's allergic to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Get your ass out there. We don't care. Karen Ford will be with us on Monday. Karen Ford is a financial advisor. She's a public speaker, and she's going to be joining us to kind of go ahead and help us with our money with this current time that we're going on. 7:15 p.m. She's expected to be on Monday the 16th. And on the 18th, we got Rico coming on. Rico, part of the Rico podcast. He's actually going to go ahead and talk to us about time in the Army, which I think him and Philip are going to bond over. A cultural shock because he grew up living in Puerto Rico, coming on over here. And he was working in law enforcement. He's got some interesting human trafficking stories. And apparently he said he'd like to talk about ball scratching too. I'm not sure how serious that is, but we'll talk to Rico on Wednesday. That's the 18th of May. And then Hollywood Wade Williamson is going to come on here. He is the host of the Crime and Entertainment podcast. And when I say that, I'm really talking about crime and entertainment. He actually talks to mobsters, people that have been down the road and have returned, from jail and stuff like that. So he's going to be joining us on Friday, May 20th at 8 p.m. Make sure you go ahead and tune in. The next week of the Charles Richardson Show, we are pumping it up on Memorial Day or Memorial Week, starting on May 30th through that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We will not be on the show. The reason for it is scheduling. I'm actually joining a new department, and it looks like I'm going to be working 11 to 8 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the show will not be able to air. And of course, Monday we're just going to take off anyway. So we will return to the show the following week. So make sure you go ahead and put that in your little jar of noodles to remember. We'll return.
Well, is it posted on your Facebook? The dates, because I've been trying to get these names and dates for you since you announced them about 3 weeks ago. So where can I go to get this information?
Philip, I'm not retired like you. I don't have all this time on my hands.
Just text.
Yeah,
it.
just and listen. I gave you.
Well, I've sent it to him in private messenger several times. Yeah. Nothing. He can't reply.
I gave you a bone on private message earlier today about Mark. So I even gave you a link. Come on now. I was good to you.
You can always send a Google Calendar invite, and it includes all the details and everything. And then all we have to do is add it to our calendars.
Google Calendar.
Yep.
That just creeps me out, the Google thing. But no, Philip, seriously, I'm serious now. I want you to go ahead and look these people up so that way you can out interview me. Absolutely.
Hey man, I'll tell you what. So far, you're 2 for 2. I'm thoroughly impressed with the way you've handled our last two guests, man. I mean, done like a true champ. Future Larry King, right here on the show.
Yeah, right. I don't know about future Larry King, but I will tell you this though. It's like
I sit at your chair.
I had my reservations in regards to talking to people in the Hollywood aspect, and John Anthony came pretty smooth, and Mark was pretty smooth as well. He had a lot more prestige, though. Well, I can't say he had a lot more prestige because he actually worked in the depths of Hollywood. John Anthony is more of a short independent screenwriter. Not to take anything away from John Anthony, he's awesome. He has a great life, great work ethic, and of course, he's got stuff that's coming out. Mark's got stuff coming out too. He's got a book coming out, but he's led a very, very prestigious life in regards to what he's accomplished. I mean, he apparently had 3 goals. He smoked enough weed, slept with enough women, and had the money to pay for all of them. So that's it. I mean, he
didn't have any complaints after that.
Didn't have any complaints, but he's still 72. He's still banging around, with his wife, of course. But I'm over here saying it's like maybe you should have like a 4th or 5th goal. Yeah. I mean, is that always? Are we just going to go ahead?
Possibly be?
Are we going to pack it up or something? I don't know.
Well, he does have another goal. Is to get this book out.
Well,
this is a man who I believe if he could be laying flat on his stomach and shit himself and still not get any shit on him, right? This dude's amazing.
I agree. Yeah.
But
Mark the no shit man.
He epitomizes that idea that when you satisfy a goal, what do you do when you achieve all your goals? You create new ones. And look at him, man, 72.
Yep.
How dare any of us fucking bitch about not being where we want to be when this 72-year-old man is still banging? God damn.
Right.
I'm 44 and I'm over here thinking I have no clue what I'm doing. And I feel like I'm 72 on top of that. He's 72. He probably feels like he's 21 still.
Okay, but did either one of you take from everything he said is the biggest thing is mindset?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that's
really
why
is
I did my show on tonight. Mindset. It's all your mindset. Absolutely.
It is.
But you know what? I think also besides that good mindset is that good support system.
How the hell? Hang on a second. Why is this on this channel? Hang on. I think I know who this is. Wait a second. So apparently when it updated and it just screw it. All right, go ahead. Hello. Nope, not. I guess not. Microphone, USB.
But I do think that support system. I mean, I tell everybody in my successes in life, behind every good is a woman rolling her eyes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, hold on. Hang on a second. Go ahead. Hello.
Yes. Hi. You were chopping out like really bad. I don't know what's the connection problem.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. When I had
it's perfect now.
Okay,
perfect.
Cool. All right, what's up, Joe?
I'm gonna make a YouTube video tonight after I get out of the shower because my hair is horrible today.
Why don't you do it in the shower?
No, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
So Yeah, I'm going to make a YouTube video. It's YouTube, The Crazy Joe Show on YouTube. And I'm going to talk about some bad experiences I've been having. I share that with people, even though, I got a lot of enemies out there.
Right.
And, the thing is, I just as an observation, short observation, I've never went after anybody who didn't deserve it. And I've been attacked on a personal basis. And, when I started my show, I knew I'd be the R-rated, comedy star. And I'm not into this woke movement and politically correct crap. But what I want to say is that I've never went out of my way to purposely fuck someone over the way these assholes out there, I'm not going to mention their names.
Right.
Obviously, they know who they are.
Right.
That, they're trying to fuck me in a personal way. And this is not what broadcasting is all about. And if you don't like my show, all you have to do, like with the guest on your show with Billy, all you have to do is not listen.
That's it.
But these guys are not mature. They're acting like they're in the fucking fourth grade. It's really incredible, these people's mentality. They think they're so smart. They think they're so, I got the broadcast. But yet they're very immature because they can't take my opinions.
Right.
And this is what this country is about. It's about different opinions. That's what the Constitution supports. But we're getting more and more into a communist state of not being able to say what we want, that we're going to be shot down by the leftist liberal douchebags. And that's my opinion, of course.
Of course.
I've been around. Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
No, I was just I just wanted to know. So
I got a question. I got a question for Joe. If Joe, my name's Phil Blackman. You and I've never officially spoke. I've been spoken about a few times, but that's okay too. And so I'm curious with all these people that are because you talk about you've been through some things and you got all these people coming at you. I'm just because I'm genuine when I ask this question because I talk about mental health a lot. Man, how does it affect your mental state when you feel like you're always being attacked, when you feel like you're always on the defensive, and even when you're on the attack? I mean, how does that affect your mental state?
That's a great question. That is a super, super great question. It does affect my mental health. It does affect. I've been depressed. I've been on anxiety medication, which is actually before I did the broadcast. But I hardly took the medication. But I see I'm increasing it a little bit. I don't want to be a drug addict because I've never been a drug addict. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I just have an occasional cigarette, and I'm a little fat around the belly, though I lost a lot of weight. So basically, it does, big time. And especially when you got guys like Billy Painter deplatforming me for no reason because we got into a hassle, and it wasn't even a big deal. But he made it into like a mold out of a mountain, as they say, if I'm saying it right. But yeah, it does affect me because, I don't care what the opinions of people are. I have a show and I want to attract people the way Charles has. And Charles is a great, great broadcaster. So I want to do the same thing like Charles is doing. But obviously I have a different show, a different of opinion. And these people are taking it in a personal way. Like I said, the statement of the year is, if you don't like me, fight me. If you want some, come get some.
That should be
I'm
a
a New
t-shirt.
Yorker. I'm a tough guy.
That
even
should
though
be
I
a
can't beat
t-shirt.
you up, though.
That should be a t-shirt. You don't like me, bite me. I like
Well,
that.
to your point, and I appreciate I appreciate your idea, right? But because hey, if you don't like me, you don't have to tune in. No big deal. If I'm not your cup of tea, then don't pick it up. Don't fuck with me, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have to not let these energy thieves, Joe. You believe that you're the rated R superstar. I don't remember all your catchphrases.
Rated R comedy star and the savior of real rock and roll music.
All right, so that you are those things, and in your heart of heart that you're those things. So why let these, for lack of a better term, in maybe from your perspective, people that are energy thieves, people who are hurting, who are making you depressed. Why let these energy thieves, these people who make you feel this way, why let them rent space in your head?
You mean like they're renting space in my mind?
Yes, sir. That's the question.
I mean, look, if you were, see, you can't appreciate my position. A lot of people can't because they're not being vandalized, attacked. But you see, there's a sunshine to this. There's something good about this. I've gotten more publicity. I just came back from a year and a half. I've done the show 3 times, and I've gotten so much publicity without doing the show. I know they're jealous of me. I got over 2,000 hits on my face crap page. And, I've gotten a lot. YouTube, I had about 187 views, which is incredible because I didn't expect that to happen. So obviously I only got 32 subscribers, but I got a lot of people out there who are watching me. So I think that, the negativity that I just said before is actually a positive. Because thanks to these idiot douchebag motherfuckers,
all right,
they're giving me more publicity than I can handle. So I just want to say to those cocksuckers out there like Billy Painter, please keep up the good work. And arrogant douchebag media, please keep up the good work. You give me so much publicity.
All right.
I love it.
So wait. So when's the video, Joe? So everybody can go ahead and tune in.
The video's going to be in about an hour or so, but it doesn't matter. All I know is that I just want to give the site, The Crazy Joe Show on YouTube, and I'm going to be on momentarily about an hour and a half. I'm going to take a nice shower, and I got to dress up nice because I'm going to be on video. And I'm just going to be honest that I've had some problems the last couple of days. It has nothing to do, with those guys I mentioned. I don't think they did it, but, it is what it is. So I'm going to explain all the bad stuff that's been going on. But I think, you got to be honest with your audience. You can't bullshit them. If you're having a bad time, tell them.
Yep.
Even if they're your enemies. I don't give a shit because I know I got a few friends out there. It's not like I got all enemies on my YouTube channel.
No. All right. So about an hour. Go ahead. Take your shower. We're going to go move on. Okay.
Okay, you're very handsome, by the way. Thank you, that co-host of yours. I like him. I've heard some good things about him.
All right.
Best of luck to you, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. All right, there you go. I know. Let's move it on. Oh, my
no longer answering the phone for Voldemort.
My Avast antivirus is expired, so right away. There we go. 813-699-5353. Hey, so anybody think the rent has gone like increasingly out of control? Everybody did the cost of living is out of control, right? I mean, we can pretty much agree on that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, you need to go ahead and join this couple that apparently have experienced a different way of living. Angela and Richard Burke, both in their 50s.
Is this the van life thing? Is that what you're...
Very, very opposite of that.
Oh, okay.
A Seattle couple has lived aboard a cruise ship for the past year after determining that it's cheaper than their mortgage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Both of these people are in their 50s, always dreamed about retiring and to a life of travel.
I mean, talk about the life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
The couple had been going on cruises around the world at least once, sometimes twice a year, but it was in early 2021 that Angelin, who's an accountant, crunched the numbers and found something unexpected. The pair could retire now and live aboard cruise ships for as little as $43 a day, which, according to that, is cheaper than their current living expenses.
That's crazy.
She said in a quote, "Our original plan was to stay in different countries for a month at a time and eventually retire to cruise ships as we got older. We love to travel and we're searching for a way to continuously travel in our retirement that made financial sense. Using their savings and anticipated sale of their Seattle home, the Burkes found a way to make life possible by hopping from cruise ship to cruise ship. They also take full advantage of loyalty points and sales to make their dream of retirement on the sea of a reality." So
How cool is that, man?
Can you imagine living on a cruise ship 24/7?
No, I couldn't.
I had a client.
Here's my C pass.
Right.
Exactly.
Give me a MasterCard now. 365 days a year. Yes.
I had a private client, and she was staying with her son when she slipped and fell and broke her hip. And she was just there visiting, but that's what I got to know about her. She, at that point, had been on a cruise ship for the past 3 years after her husband passed away, and her kids were grown, married, and doing their own thing. She decided that she was going to do all the traveling that they had intended on doing. And then she found out the same thing. She was better off selling everything and continuing to travel. She said the best thing about all of it, you would think, would be all the destinations, which she's been to multiple times. But she said it's getting to meet all the new people.
Yeah, how cool.
All
Come
the time.
in.
Yeah.
Imagine having a different neighbor every 7,
Yes.
14, 21 days.
She said it's
Well,
absolutely fascinating.
If you have any of you guys ever been to a comedy club?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so, man, or even at a comedy show or a rock concert, whatever, man. When you get out and you're doing something, it's not like people go, "Hey, you're pissed, I'm pissed. Let's go to the comedy club." No, everybody has the same idea. And
Right.
so, you're just, God, I mean, goddamn, how smart is that? You're just that constant positivity pouring in. That, man, I think I got me a new retirement plan.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't like someone, well, pretty soon they're going to be off the ship. They're out of your hair.
Well, but the problem is they won't let me bring my horses and my dogs and my cows.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, you
Yeah,
got to
that's
keep those
true.
aside unless you want to go ahead and get a room for them separately.
We've got dogs.
Well, I'm gonna have to wait on another Noah's Ark before I can go on a trip.
Yeah. Now, obviously, because they're doing this, they've quit their jobs. They sold their home. They said, we don't plan to permanently live on land in the future. The couple's, I mean, this is literally like a water world for them. Just
Right.
imagine that movie. The couple says they can count in one hand how many times they've slept on land the past year.
That's awesome.
Hopping from ship to ship takes a lot of planning, and when the ship schedules don't always match up, they do stay on land. They began their retirement life by going on a 50-day cruise around the Atlantic Sea, touring much of Europe. I think that's supposed to be Atlantic. They followed that with a 51-day cruise from Seattle to Sydney. They hope to go every corner of the globe. So again, Angela says, I believe this is achievable for the everyday cruiser, but it does take effort. It is a leisurely travel without the complications of booking hotels, restaurants, and transportation while staying within your budget. Shit, you don't even have to cook anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
What, do they have kids on the cruise ship as well, or is it just them too?
No, it's just them. Those two are retired.
Yeah, they're retired.
Now, I'm wondering if they do have
That's the
kids or
question.
grandkids. It's like, what do they
Yeah.
do? I mean, they said they're not material. They're not materialistic. So I don't think they have like the unlimited drinking plan or the internet
Now,
that they have to
listen,
pay
not being
for.
materialistic doesn't mean that they
Don't
don't have
drink.
those things.
That's true, because I'm not materialistic, but I definitely need my
Materialistic is
alcohol.
more like,
I
you
need
know,
the drinky
like
drink.
I have like all the clothes and all the stuff,
and the jewelry,
the stuff.
the latest gadgets.
But it's like, do you think like, listen, they're talking about $43 a day. This can't be balcony and stuff like that. This is interior suite.
Lower your standards.
Yeah. So I'm over here thinking it's like, they're sleeping on like the first or second level down there at the bottom. They're indoors. They're just they're just there. That's all there is. I mean,
Yeah, but
But
all,
they
all you're in your
enjoy
room for is to sleep
pool,
and
they
fuck.
get-
That's it.
They get to go down and eat the same.
Get to go to all the
Stuff, I mean-
parties, the buffets. I'll be so.
yeah, it's not like the
comedy
Titanic when
clubs,
there's when there's steerage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that.
They got the comedy clubs, they've got the concerts, the movies, whatever they have on board the ship.
Yeah, it's just
We
kinda
went
cool.
and saw a comedy act when we were on our cruise.
We did. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but he was funny.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was funny. He attacking everybody.
No, one of those.
Yeah, he was one of those. It's like, hey, how long you been on the ship for? Obviously, you know what? And that's the other thing too, is we were talking to Mark, and it's like, he did a lot of stand up. I was wondering, like, did he just do a lot of like stand up acts, like the 5 or 10 minutes, or did he do like improv? Because I'm thinking improv would have been just so much more intense and maybe more difficult to do because you got to think on your feet. It's not planned.
I don't think so. I think improv would actually be easier because I mean, if you're quick witted, if you got your BS and BS, man, God, you can just go up there and just. I mean, think about it, man. You're having a conversation. The difference is it's on a stage, right? How hard is that?
Well, and a lot of times with improv, they'll have like somebody, shout out like some kind of prompt for you to go off of.
Yeah. Right.
And then so you take that thing and you run with it.
Well, what our guest on Wednesday said, he said, in improv, there's no wrong answer, right? Nothing's off limits. Just go.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just feel like
and you never say no to anything.
Yes.
Yep. Never say no.
So if they say, "Oh, well, you're gay," okay, well then
girl, guess what? I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna fret. I'm gonna float across that stage, girl. Hey, I'll play the role. Give it to me.
Yep. Absolutely. It is Friday the 13th, so obviously. Horror flick people that love their Freddy Krueger, or the people that love their Halloween movies and stuff like that. This is the type to go ahead and watch those. So I got to ask: is there any popular horror flick that you guys have watched, have enjoyed, or anything? And you cannot use Last House on the Left.
We enjoy the Halloween series.
I like the Halloween series too, and Scream.
Scream, okay. I gotta think for Paranormal Activity.
I can't go past
Paranormal Activity is good.
Yeah,
I would have to. I can't go past, but I can't do horror films, so don't laugh. But I can't go past The Shining.
I love The Shining.
Shining's classic.
Amityville Horror is another good one.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Stephen King's It.
Oh no.
Yes, anything with Stephen King. Come on.
I
Stephen
only
King's
saw
awesome, but
once. And I was,
but the Green Mile wasn't scary, and he wrote it. I mean, so you can't really say everything Stephen
my
King.
son talks to Stephen King every week. He said he is one of the coolest guys he's ever met.
Yep.
So down to earth and laid back.
I talk to Stephen King too. I meditate to him.
No,
Sometimes masturbate to him.
He lives here in Florida.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, I thought you were just.
He was he's originally from.
He sees
from
him
New
in
England,
your vision.
though.
He sees Stephen King. It's over there.
Another Stephen King, it was actually a mini series that I really like is Storm of the Century.
Oh Jesus, yes.
Now
that's the one that's like 8 hours long, right? Where the
I like the so long, but it
give
is
me what I
so
want and I'll go away. Is
Yes.
that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
What a trippy movie
seen
that
that
was.
one.
That is a great movie.
I like The Stand.
Yeah, Stand is good.
Yeah, that one Alyssa just said that is one of the most underrated, man. I have not heard anyone else mention that movie outside of you. So
I was the nerd. I was the nerd. Though.
I actually own it on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to see it again because I
because
was
we watch
the
everything on
nerd
DVD.
in my senior year of high school, and I was sitting there with all these books, like trying to pull out all the symbolism and everything to try and actually grasp what his thought process was of the movie,
right?
Or of the book. So yeah, that was me watching it, but I loved it.
Pet Cemetery is good too.
That's creepy. I can't see
the old one.
Oh my god,
the old one. The new one blows.
Yeah.
The new one sucks.
You know what? And that's what.
The old
And
one,
that's too the other thing
original
too.
one is really good.
The horror films that were made back in like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that are so much better.
So
than
much
the ones
better.
now.
Scarier.
They were.
Even though they're cheesy, like you can see the
They
wires
had
on
that-
Freddy
those
Krueger's
jump
arms.
moments.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
those-
the
those
music,
moments that just make you, like
I think
jump
it's-
out of your seat.
You
the
would think
musical
with
score,
technology-
man.
Yes, you would think with technology though they would be better now, but I think newer technology hinders it.
It's ruining it. Yeah.
Because they really had to work at
And-
accomplishing that fear and that build up.
And you don't have like nowadays most of the horror movies are all about the gore.
Yes.
Back in the day, you didn't have to have the gore.
No.
It was the story.
It was the illusion that it was there. You knew what was happening, and you knew, but it was the story, and it was just it left a little air of mystery to it.
Show of hands. Who was afraid after watching Poltergeist of a clown living under your bed?
Nah.
Oh fuck! I was terrified.
Clown was the problem.
Poltergeist.
No, yeah,
I would
She
run.
was my problem.
Well, yeah.
Number one, I don't think
Poltergeist is
anything's
really
gonna
good,
nothing's gonna make me afraid of clowns. I'm sorry.
Look, at that time, I had grown up. My early years were spent with a foster family that was Southern Baptist. So when Poltergeist came around and I saw that, I want to say I was like 11 or 12. Now I was 10 or 11. And I'm telling you what, if I had any doubt about me following a good path at that point, I mean, it went out the door as an adult, but I was like, "Oh hell, I'm walking it good, Lord. I'm walking it good." I was scared as shit.
Carol
Well, and when you read up on the history of that movie of Poltergeist, like all of the crazy stuff that happened on the set and afterwards.
Yes.
Creepy.
It is super creepy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Firestarter was a cute movie. I say
And they're
cute because
remaking that. They're remaking it. Oh, it's so stupid.
I would protest.
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot of movies that were remade and stuff like that. Now we just recently watched one that was the conclusion. I think. No, it's not the
there's gonna be
conclusion.
another
There's
one.
another one. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That
How
was
was it?
Okay,
It was great.
awesome.
It was.
It was really good.
I was very apprehensive, and it was us. They did so well working this actually original storyline into it. It was good.
It basically drug in Egon, who obviously
Mm-hmm.
is no longer with us. The character, the actor is no longer
Harold
with us.
Ramis.
But they drug him in and they did special effects,
Yes,
making him look like a white ghost at the
Made
very
me
end.
cry.
It
Oh,
was
wow.
really impressive how they did it. There was no speaking
Nope.
lines because I don't think anybody can go ahead and mimic his voice. I'm sure that's wrong, but maybe they just wanted to leave it as a mystery.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they probably could have chopped up some previous like footage and stuff, but it wouldn't have been as good.
No,
Yeah, I don't
right.
think so either. I think it was very well done.
So I think the storyline with the daughter, the granddaughter. No, it's the daughter, right?
It was a granddaughter.
Yeah, it's the granddaughter. The granddaughter is now, she's related to Egon, and she's now the new Ghostbuster. They went ahead and found all this stuff. Egon was apparently the crazy one who lived in a farm out in the middle of nowhere.
And his daughter
But-
actually had a grudge against him
Yes.
for leaving.
And
But
it
he
was
explains that.
it was just amazing how the story started out open, like nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden things started to
Yeah.
piece together, and then all of a sudden it's like, because you knew she was related to somebody that was a Ghostbuster. And I'm over here, you got Janine who came back, and we're over here thinking,
Don't give it away too much because, like I said,
Oh,
I
you
haven't seen it yet. No.
well, it's only been out for, it's only been, sorry. Go ahead, Barbara. What is that?
She hasn't
I
heard of
haven't
it.
even heard of it.
Well, you need
I
to.
live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know nothing.
Well, that's where Egon was living in the middle of nowhere. He knew a lot. Just saying.
Not seen the trailer, so I gathered enough out of it.
You need to get your ass.
You gotta watch
It's
it.
really
It's pay the $5.99 to run it. And
I'm
just
so horrible about movies, though, man. It's just too much of my time. I got too much shit going on.
No, you don't.
Oh,
No,
see,
you're
somebody
retired.
that can
Stop it.
understand. I'm the same way. Don't watch TV. Rarely watch a movie. That's a big joke on here, is because they talk movies all the time. I have no clue.
But one thing that we did watch that you were watching is Bridgerton. We finished it.
Oh,
Yes, we
did you
finally
like it?
Finished Bridgerton.
We finally did. Now,
I
now,
liked
now,
the
Philip,
first season better.
now, Philip, I
Yeah.
know this is probably going to be way over your head because this is too girly. So
Mhm.
we'll try to keep it.
I don't know that
minimal.
it was girly.
It was girly. Listen,
But you
if
liked
you
it.
I was gonna say David liked it, but he's a little girly.
if you like fucking and sex and people just having
It's soft
affairs
porn
after
for sure.
affairs. Oh yeah. The first season of Bridgerton was classic.
Yes.
We didn't get to see boobs until the last episode. No boobs at all until last episode, and they weren't
There
even
were
fucking.
other boobs.
It's
They were
very,
very
it's
vague.
very depictive of that historic era, though.
I need boobs, and if you don't show me boobs, I was about ready to say
I got two
I don't
of
see
them
it.
right here.
I just saying.
Well,
I need to see
you do.
tits. You know,
Anyway.
you got this bigger girl with all these boobs over there. It's like, yeah, now we're talking cleavage, but she never shows them. And
Well,
then you have this tall drink
Lanky.
of water, and she shows up. She shows nothing, and finally, the whole thing, it comes
Bum,
together.
bum, bum.
Yeah, now they're banging, and it's like, All right, boob. I need boob because you're not going to see Bush. It's not that script.
It's not like Spartacus where like
It's
every
not
scene is
revealing.
everybody fucking.
It's more soft porn,
It's not revealing that much.
but it's good.
But the second, I agree with Alyssa. The second season did take a backseat to the first season. I will say that.
But it was good.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's good.
I'll take your word for it.
It's a drama. It's a drama. You know,
I wish I could remember the name of the one that's on Hulu because it's very similar, but it's more in depth and it's more about the competition between whorehouses.
I can only take so much. So much streaming services, and Hulu, I think, is just
I know,
beyond
I gave
my
up
limit.
Hulu,
I
too.
can't do it no more. I can't do it. Do we happen to have any news of the good variety? No. Okay. So let's continue real
Sorry,
quick.
I was too busy drinking this butterscotch
Listen,
thing.
I was
so much stronger than my Smirnoff.
I told you.
That was so good. Charles makes strong drinks.
I do make strong drinks. You need to make sure you're going to drive home tonight, okay?
Oh, well, I'm driving 8 minutes away back to the hotel.
Okay, so you're good. By the way, that's Barbara. She's come down from Ocala to visit.
Do you need memes?
Oh yeah, if you got memes, that'd be
I
great.
I think I sent you a couple.
I forgot to send them.
Oh, you did?
No, I'm sending them right now.
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
saying-
Oh, did you see that story that I sent?
I did not.
About
is it in the
it
chat?
It was a little girl who was raised vegan, and her
Oh yeah, I see it.
her dad gave her chicken nuggets
Yep.
from McDonald's, and now she's demanding meat all the time.
She needs meat. She ate chicken nuggets. They ain't chicken, and now it's meat.
No, it is the chicken. It's just everything with the chicken.
It's
Yeah.
shit. It's not chicken
It
nuggets.
is chicken,
It's
though.
about
It's
about the same amount of chicken as a burger is in McDonald's.
It's chicken. They just throw in all the parts.
Yeah, it's all the chicken. That's what I'm saying. It's the beak, it's the toenails, it's the feet, asshole.
I
all of
have
it.
a son that worked at
I do
Tyson,
not want to eat the asshole.
and you don't want to know.
No, I don't.
I get mine from a barber. A barber.
You get from a
butcher.
barber?
Damn your drink, a butcher.
Yeah, I went to go ahead and get chicken legs, man. My barber does it really nice.
I'm trying to read memes at the same time I'm trying to.
I mean, that's a different type of cut right there.
Charles, is all that happening in your house?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
You imagine what I'm dealing with.
No. No.
Then you couldn't handle my house because it's like
Yeah.
this all the time.
Fucking way.
Man, y'all sound like a damn tree full of screeching Chinese monkeys, man, just cackling. And that shit would, man, I had to rip my own ears off and stuff them in the holes that I had, that are left behind.
Now, Philip.
I was trying to read
Stop
and
that
talk
now.
at the same time, and apparently I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
All right, so no, you missed it. We was on it last week. Alyssa was reading the good news, but the thing is, she already had the good news in her. Needless to say. And so there's this one story right here where this girl, she's such a sweet story.
When she goes off like that, just say penis, and it just it ends it all.
Penis.
You say penis for her and boobs for him, and you're good.
Oh my
God! I thought about throwing out a good old fashioned moist, but I didn't.
Well, the whole there is a story behind the whole penis thing.
I'm sure
Well,
There is, but we
There
don't
is
have
nothing
time.
off
We gotta get to memes, and yeah, we're gonna stay away from penis talk.
No, it was my hairdresser when we were getting married. She was like, "We need a word that'll calm you down or like make you laugh when you're getting stressed out."
And it's penis.
And she said penis or something. I don't know where it came about, but she said it, and I just started laughing.
And if it made her laugh on her wedding day, Charles, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's what brought her humor.
Of China.
Think of something that makes you laugh,
okay?
Charles Dick.
No. it
Yeah, well,
wasn't
you
that.
know what? I agree. That would
It
make me laugh
wasn't-
too.
It wasn't his specifically.
Yes, it was.
It was just the
Penis
word
in general.
It was just
Penis.
the word penis.
Penis. Anyway,
Because it was
I sent you
completely
a
out of
few, but not
context
too
and
many.
just
That's okay.
weird.
That's okay. I got to find the right time to go ahead and start playing the song when everybody's talking penis and butchers or barbers to get chicken. So anyway,
I'm never gonna live that down.
No, not at all. Welcome back, Karen.
Ask him about the giraffe. Okay?
Yeah. Oh no, she already knows
I'll
that.
never
That's
live
old
that
news.
down either.
That's old news. Here's one. It's kind of small to see, but anyway, life is too short for bad sex and shitty people. So find somebody that fucks you right and treats you the way you deserve to be treated.
It's a good motto.
That is good. That's not funny though. If you could read my mind, I'm pretty sure you'd either be traumatized, sexually aroused, or both.
True.
Right? 0 for 2, Karen. Due to the increased amount of STDs out there, I'm scared to even have phone sex. A motherfucker might give me the hearing aids. All right, that's good.
That's a bad joke.
I got that one. I tried to behave, but I got bored. That was simple. Here's a flamingo here. The word of the day is exhaustipated. Adjective, too tired to give a shit.
Yep.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
Here's a message. I didn't do it. Oh, wait. Yeah, I did do that.
I say that at least once a day.
Thank you. Now I'm not alone.
My ex has 3 spirit animals: lion, ass, cheetah. And finally, his Kermit, very depressed. She said she tasted like a rainbow. Found out she meant throat, not Skittles, or trout, not Skittles. Thank you. And there you go, everybody. That is the memes for today, Friday the 13th. No, Philip, nothing there.
No, I'm
You're zoning out, man.
The music is playing, man. I'm letting you have it.
That's the memes for today, Friday the 13th. Right here on the Charles Richardson Show. And, of course, thanks to Karen to bringing back the joy in the memes.
Half of them you didn't even like.
That's true.
I got the normal eye roll. I guess mission accomplished.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We can go with
the best
that.
meme I've seen in weeks is the Judge Judy. Judge Judy needs to do that trial.
Yes.
Oh,
I
that
agree.
would be awesome.
Yeah. So here's the chicken nugget story from the barber. A mom says her ex-husband fed her vegan daughter McNuggets, and now she keeps demanding meat. A mom took to Reddit to share how surprised she was when her daughter had come home from her dad's asking for chicken nuggets. She said, I became vegan when my ex and I moved in together because he was vegan and he didn't like there being animal products in the home. That's what she called, according to Reddit's platform. The things you do for love. Well, she said, I was a vegan while I was pregnant, and we raised our dog vegan for the past 8-ish years. Apparently, she doesn't know how old her daughter is. But the vegan mama who changed her diet because of her ex-husband was left shocked when her daughter threw a tantrum as they drove past the McDonald's. Seeing the golden arches was just too much for the child. She said she had a full-blown meltdown demanding chicken nuggets. We go home, and she's like blowing snot bubbles. She's so enraged. She continues. She howls her way through a bowl of leftover soup. She hates me. I'm a terrible mom. Apparently, this is England. Dad would have let her eat chicken nuggets. She wore herself out crying. That's what we need to do. We just need to wear Stefan out while he cries.
He doesn't wear out.
That's true. Now, the Reddit mom didn't mind that her daughter wanted to eat meat, but she did mind that she wasn't informed about the decision. She kept writing, I wasn't aware of the vegan daughter now eating meat. I felt like that's a decision that I should have been informed about. I called him after she went to bed, and he told me I was being uptight, and he didn't tell me because he knew I'd overreact. I'm controlling, and I don't need to be privy to every single thing he does when our daughters are with him. Also, from a dude who gave me a hard time for craving Oreos, which are fucking vegan, she said, well, I'm pregnant with her. So let's talk about this. And we have to make it quick, about like 3 minutes or less. But let's bring this out. Obviously, the parents separated or divorced, living in separate places. Dad sees the daughter, blah, 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 every so often. Husband or ex-husband goes ahead and does this. Does mom overreact, or does mom have a right to know?
I think it should be kind of a, oh, well, hey, by the way,
All right, Karen.
I gave her some chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
I think she should be included in it, but but on that, I think that even if you are vegan, you still should be introducing your kids to the other foods. Just because that's your preference doesn't mean ultimately that's going to be theirs.
Yeah.
Barbie, what do you think?
Should have known.
That's
and
true.
Been accepting.
Okay. So and apparently, she's the one that changed her lifestyle. Philip, I mean, if say for instance you had a child and mama, of course, is not in your life anymore, like she's living away, you guys have separate custody. Would you get pissed off if your ex went ahead and fed your daughter chicken nuggets and you were vegan, or she was supposed to be vegan?
No, I don't think so. And maybe that's the difference between guys and girls. I don't think I would have, because I mean, I do believe that children, like one of them said,
Karen.
I don't remember which one of it was that children should have choices and, let them discover what they like.
It was Karen's barber that said that.
Well, I couldn't remember which one of you it was.
No, it was one of the ones. So Karen, how's it feel being back here on the show? Even though half of it was taken up by an interview, though. So
No, I enjoyed the interview, so it was good.
Excellent. All right. Well, Philip, we're coming down to the end of the show. You know what that means. It's time to do plug away, my friend. Plug away.
All right, guys. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm dedicating this month the Philip D. Blackman Show. All social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're even going to be broadcasting TikTok, Raw Talk Online, IPM Nation, AOW Radio, 5:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. Guys, join me. And let's delve into that mental health, because we all could use a little bit of recovery.
And go ahead and follow Philip on YouTube, youtube.com/c/the Philip D. Blackman Show, right there on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. A lot of great content there from Philip, and of course, a great show as well. So
thank you.
We definitely appreciate it. And finally, make sure you go ahead and visit rawtalkonlineradio.com. That's where you can hear this show, Philip's show, Matt Connerton Unleashed, Monday through Fridays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, our morning madness that we have, the Morning Mayhem with DJ Scotty from 7:30 to 10 p.m. And then from 10 a.m. And then from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., it is the Steve Jarrett Morning Show, the House of the Stupidity Network. Make sure you tune in. And, of course, on the weekends, we got Inside the Mothership with Alien Stone every Sunday from 12 to 2. Make sure you tune in to all our great content. Until then, we want to thank Marc Sheffler for being on the show. We appreciate it. Make sure you go ahead and look out for his book coming out later on this year called Those 7 Years. That talks about his life in a fictional standpoint. So, man, again, Philip, make sure you do that for your book too.
Hey, I took notes, dude.
Do it a character. All right, we're out of here, folks. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.